Hey guys, it is Terra Pup, and there is a little bit of a. You probably saw my son walk away. So, hey, I welcome anybody who's out there watching my video. Um, Tonight's video is kind of a retrospect of my year so far doing YouTube and trying to promote and trying to get out there. So, my name, for those of you who don't know who I am, is Chuck Payne, aka Terrapup, the one and only. There are some others out there after 30 years using my alias, but I am the one and only. So, welcome to the doghouse. Uh, and if you're online, drop me a chat. I'd love to see who's out there, where you're from. I'm gonna try to do these more often, but tonight, like I said, is kind of a retrospect of how my year's been going so far. And if you got questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'll answer them, and we'll go from there. But anyway, so as you guys notice, I have been posting content for a while. I initially started out posting some stuff of, me playing Minecraft because my kids got me into it. I really kind of like just doing the filming, walking around, showing builds, but doing the board stuff that I've been doing is for me a chance to give back to the community. I've been doing IT work now 29 years. Actually started when I came here to Atlanta. I've been living in Atlanta now for 30 years. And the first year I was here, I worked at Steinmart. But after that, I got into IT. I don't have certs. It was one of these. I know computers. I've always been the geeky kid just hanging around and doing stuff. So I actually been making money for the last 29 years doing IT, and I really enjoy it. And believe it or not, me doing the media stuff is kind of what I went to school for. Initially, it's not what I wanted to do. I actually wanted to be a paramedic, but as you guys can tell from my videos, I do tend to mix up words, or I pause and stutter. That's because I'm dyslexic. And you've probably seen on other videos where I kind of mentioned that, yeah, I didn't go into and become a med tech or paramedic because of that. Well, actually, because of botany. But anyway, so I got into IT, and I actually got into Linux. It's funny. My career so far has been me getting into stuff that was by accident. Everything I've done has been more for survival. I honestly can say that I love what I'm doing. But that's who I am. 29 years, been doing open source. Proud member of OpenSUSE. I still do use it. Trying to get it working on small boards. It's a little bit more difficult. So I tend to use Debian, mainly Armbian. And if you have not used Armbian, go check it out. They have two flavors. They have Ubuntu for those that like Ubuntu, and then Debian for those of us who like it, steady and rock solid. So, it's a good OS. I'd like to see one day, hopefully, FreeBSD easily to be installed on some of these small boards because, like I was telling someone earlier this year, a lot of these little small router boards that especially come from Banana Pi, if they could get BSD working on it, they probably could get pfSense working on it. I know a lot of you got into small board computers like I did, where you bought a Raspberry Pi and you're like, okay, I have this $35 board computer. What can I do with it? And my first go at it was actually trying to build media players. I love movies. I probably have 200 to 300 DVDs that I, put on a NAS and was streaming with Plex for a while. I tried Jellyfin. I need to come back to it. But anyway, I wanted something small and portable that I could have, or a Roku-like device. So I tried to set up stuff with Pi, and found out that, and by the way, this was 12 years ago, that my first go around with the Raspberry Pi was not the greatest. I mean, I did get Plex up and running, but it just did not have the horsepower. So Raspberry Pi 3 came out, and I tried it and fooled around with it, and it was much better. But with that one, I actually started getting into another area that small board computers excel at, and that was retro gaming. I, actually built several little retro boxes that, me and the kids, we would enjoy and play. But believe it or not, I would always use like a Raspberry, but I would always come back to the PC wanting to do retro gaming because the power, you always see like these reviews where, hey, I got a Raspberry Pi 4B and it's got 4 gigs, and today we're going to try to play Dreamcast on it or Wii, and oh, look, well, it's kind of playing and it's kind of slow and blah, blah, blah. So I really got curious at, well, is there anything better out there? Okay. And that's kind of led me to where I am. I started buying other boards. Believe it or not, my first computer that I got, and I was going to see if it was here, but I don't see it. Believe it or not, I have a lot of the computer. Here it is. Was a Libra Computer La Potato. And I got this up and running, and I was able to play games, and it did a bit better job than the the Raspberry Pi 3. And then, from there I started looking around, and then I found a company called Odroid out of Korea, and I actually was scared. I don't know why, but I was scared because you couldn't buy it off of Amazon. So I used my account, bought an Odroid X4U, got it. Actually, even later paid for the N64 case. And man, that little beast really kind of set the my expectation with computers. Right after that, and I know it's here because the case is breaking, my third, I gotta get someone to print me a new case, but my third computer was this little guy, and the tab just broke. Great. It lasted me a good time. Was this Banana Pi. small, and did a very good job, better than the Pi Zero. I mean, this is a zero format. So I really started looking at alternative boards. And then when the pandemic hit and the Pi shortage really hit, I was I'll be honest with you, I was frustrated. I wanted to get a CM4 board so bad because when the pandemic hit, they came out with the boards. Couldn't find one for the life of me. Micro Center, which had been pretty reliable, suddenly couldn't, for like 2 years almost. Every time I walk in, hey, you guys got any Raspberry Pis? No. And it just got frustrating. And the scalpers, you go online and you look and you would see, a Raspberry Pi 8 gig board going close to $300. And you're like, okay, it's not worth that. $90 when it was around was pretty much it. So I really start looking at other boards. And the other thing I started doing is, because you've seen I have videos about home labs, and I'm kind of curious if anybody's watching, if you guys have home labs. I start looking at, do I want to stay with these, servers that are loud? Okay, you guys can't hear it, but I can hear it from the other room. They're loud, put out a lot of heat. In fact, oh God, when winter comes around, I never turn the gas on because the heat from my office dissipates to the rest of the house, and it keeps my house a nice toasty 65 to 68 degrees. It could be 20 or 30 degrees outside my house from the heat from the servers. It's ridiculous how much heat comes off the home lab. But I start looking at, do I keep going that route, or do I go with something that can do the same, less power? And that's why, I started looking at, like the stuff up here. Like, this was a new Odroid that came out. NVIDIA's Jetson. You know, that's a little computer right there. And I've started finding out that, wow, I could run stuff on there. I don't need to have a Dell computer, that's, I couldn't go past 2 gigs. My original website was running on a Dell 755 that max memory was 2 gigs. And I looked at, well, I'll go on Facebook Market, grab another computer, and we'll swap it out. In fact, I actually, during the pandemic, probably bought 4 more Dell computers with the thought of, okay, I'm going to wipe this one. I'm going to put in a decent graphics card, and I'm going to put in, a decent hard drive, and I'm going to install, Recalbox, and I'll have a nice little media player. Well, a lot of these systems that you see on Facebook, they're great. I mean, 75 to $100. But the thing is you can't put a decent graphics card in there. I mean, I had one with 4 gigs, is low profile, and yeah, I could play Wii on it, maybe a little bit of PS2, but if I wanted something decent, like if I wanted to play PlayStation 3, I needed a tower with, a card with minimum of 6 to 8 gigs of memory so that I could play it. So a lot of love-hate between me and the retro scene, because I really wanted to have, like, I still want to build a cabinet, okay? With a nice little system in it. So getting into these alternative computers it's been fun. And there are some that I get and I get frustrated, and I wonder why these boards are being made, because a lot of developers, the first thing they do is oh, we have a new computer board coming out and we're going to use this file system. And when you look at it, essentially they took Linux and they're using an Android file system. And I found out the hard way, Android only has 4 usable partitions and they use labels. Sorry about that. That's my dog Snoopy. So, okay. So it gets frustrating, because that's another thing that has been a little bit troubling this year. Doing the small board computers and trying to learn and develop on this, you'll get some non-brand board and you buy it, you get it in here, and you start looking at it, and suddenly you're realizing that wow, this thing has Debian, but it's like Debian 10, which has not been in production for several years. Okay. Or Android, 9, and you're just like looking at it and you're like, ugh. And then if you do get Android on there, most of the time, because of licensing, you can't get the Google store, so you can't actually install stuff. And no offense, if you can't use the apps, okay, it makes it very frustrating to do, to work on these boards, where you can use them to their full potential, because, I get it. Google Play's license, you can't download it. And then even then, you find a way to get Google Play onto a board, and it's an older version. So some of the newer stuff is not supported. So it's been a learning curve, okay? So my year so far, first of all, I've had several setbacks that have been very annoying and has cut back what I want to do. I'm not going to say work, because actually where I work at, they've been, at least my boss, he's been very supportive. He knows that I like to do this stuff, because, me being a teacher from years ago, I still love to teach and I still like doing this stuff. So that's been nice. But if you look at my videos and all that, you'll see a video where I post a tower that I accidentally, I still can't believe I did this. I accidentally spilt root beer. So the board looks like it's up and running, but without a CPU, you're essentially brain dead. And I found a new processor. It's AMD FX2. I know that's a real old one, but you know what? I have an Asus TUF motherboard and 32 gigs of DDR3 and an 8 gig RX 580, and it does the job. I can play Fallout 76 on it. I can do some video editing on it, and it serves its purpose. In fact, a buddy at work actually helped me out and gave me 4 hard drives so that I can replace some of the older hard drives that were failing, and now I have a decent area where I can store videos. And excuse me for a minute, a little refreshment. Let's turn a little light on. There we go. So, believe it or not, that was my first major setback. And you know what was more irritating? I think people on the internet live to be trolls because I got more comments about the fact, like, why do you have so many hard drives? That's ugly. And I'm like, okay, it works for me. I appreciate the fact that most people, when they get a new PC, they want to have NVMe storage or, SATA hard drives. But hey, a mechanical hard drive works. If someone gives it to you for free, beggars can't be choosy. And it helped me out. So I got past that. And I bought, as a backup, a Beelink AMD Series 5 Nook-like PC. And it was worth the money. Sorry, I felt like I was going to belch, but anyway, it was really worth the money, and I can do some gaming on it, and I may, when I can afford it, put in some 64 gig memory and see if I can up the video. I mean, that AMD chip's been really useful. Well, the next thing was July. I had a health scare, and I focused on it, and luckily, it looks like I don't have what they thought it was, so that was my next one. The next one was, as you guys can tell, I'm this little area. This is my little desk that I record on because where I work at with the servers, it's kind of hot. Give me a second. There. That's a little bit cooler. Anyway, so I got this, and I was running cords from my servers into here so that I had access, because just wanted to be able to work and record and have a nice little area, and it's worked out so far. And then, but the minute I started working over here, I didn't notice that my main firewall was dying. And I had bought a Zima board, okay, that I had planned to do. Well, I have installed pfSense on it. The 2.6 was just horrible. I installed it. I was all giddy as a kid, because I got it. I got it working. Here's my little, my PCI card, and I got it plugged up and working. And first time me and my son go to try to use it, it was horrible. I mean, he was trying to download something from Epic Games, and it went from having somewhat of a network to no network. And I was like, come on, I really want this. And then I powered to the side, and was really frustrated, and put the Lenovo that my friend gave me, and put that there. But when I moved over here, I was like, I need that Lenovo because it's got an i7 on it, and OBS runs really well on it. So I made it my recording studio. So I had a Dell AM, it was an Optiplex 580. Yeah, 580. And I put that in there took the hard drive out, put it all in there. Everything was running. But being over here, I didn't notice that it was dying. Okay. And if you guys see my video where I built the R3, the Banana Pi R3, I took the Zima board, reflashed it with pfSense 2.7. It's been working beautiful ever since then. And that R3, my son never told me that the main network for the house was dying. Apparently, it was offline for a week. I've been over here working with that new network. So I had to figure out what was going on with it. And apparently, the first thing that was dying was a hard drive. And then the second thing that was dying was the actual Dell itself. So I have now 3 Beelinks. I bought a third one, which is now the main house firewall because it had dual NICs. I have another Beelink right here, and it's running OpenSUSE Tumbleweed so that I can do some work there and work with the boards. And it's been real nice. And believe it or not, it's an N100 or maybe an N95, but Beelink, you guys do great computers. And I know I don't have a following, and it sounds pity that when I ask vendors to send me stuff, but Beelink, I'd love to review one of your PCs from a small guy who is actually using your stuff to do all of this. Okay. So yeah, that was the third setback. And luckily when I got the new Beelink, I now have behind the desk, I have a Ethernet over power, or a power connector, where I now am plugged into the rack. I'm over here and I'm actually having pretty decent speed. I mean, I'm getting about 150 megs on this. So the other thing that's a couple setbacks that have been real irritating is when you're learning all this stuff, is you go to record all this stuff and you've been talking and then you go back a couple days later and you find out that there's no audio. Or what was it, a while back ago, I thought I did a live stream. I'm like hitting the marks, I'm doing all this stuff cool, and then I go look and it's like, where's the video recording? There's no video recording. So I'm kicking myself in the butt because, okay, it's a year. I've been releasing a lot of shorts and a lot of videos, but I've had a lot of mistakes. Like tonight, after this video, I'll be posting the last video for a while on the Banana Pi R3 Mini, where I had showed step by step how to install and flash the EMC, and went back and all the audio's gone. Or actually, there was no audio ever to begin with. And then I'm trying to teach myself how to do voiceovers, so that way I could save it. But I really want to give you guys better content. I still appreciate the guy from Libra Computer who looked at my first video and said, dude, stop repeating yourself. You just keep going on and on and on, repeating yourself. So I've been working on that. But anyway, those have been the setbacks. Retrospect, I feel my videos are getting better. If not, more people wouldn't be coming in and subscribing. I'm not at the level I want to be, but I'm going to keep going. I told my son this earlier. If I wasn't where I am right now, I probably would have quit. Because when when I did the Minecraft videos, I was thinking, hey, parents will love this. No audio, just someone running around. The kids will enjoy it. And nobody subscribed. And I was like, okay. So when I started doing this, like I said, it's been real fun. So, highlights of my year. First of all, I like to thank Banana Pie. They have been probably one of the best people to work with. Now, hold on. They've been a great company to work with. I don't want Libra Computer getting mad at me because they also been pretty good. Okay. And the young lady's name was Haley when she reached out and, hey, would you like to do this? And I said yes. The first computer or small board computer I looked at them was actually the R3. And I'll be honest, when I got that thing, I was like, this is a router. I don't know what to do. And I was like, maybe I overstepped myself. But I took it. I start learning. I'm learning OpenWRT. I'm finding out you can really do some cool stuff with WRT. Good Lord, WRT is, there's so much to it. In fact, I now understand people like, I don't know his channel, but there's a guy out there, his name's Lawrence, and he does all these videos on TrueNAS, and I like to watch his stuff, and he does constant, serving the home. He does a lot of stuff on the networking. If you find an area that you're working on, maybe if you become the subject expert matter on it, or SMED, it helps the community. I mean, I see a lot of people that, hey, today we're going to be talking about the Banana Pi Zero, and then tomorrow, hey, we're going to be talking about this new controller. Well, okay, if you're doing all tech, that's great. I'm going to be doing small board computers, and I'm going to keep going that way. But anyway, Banana Pi, they sent me that. Thank you guys. I hope you like my videos. I hope we can continue working. I will be honest. One board that's still giving me fits, and I've not done any videos on it, and I feel sorry, was the Banana Pi R2. It's not a bad board. But because it's an R, it should be a router. But say, I think this, maybe I'm going in the wrong direction. Maybe I should show how it would be a great little desktop computer that, excuse me, that you could use to share out info and things like that, like a little server. I think maybe that's something that would be unique for it, because you can run a hard drive off of it. You can also put some cameras on it. That's an area on these small board computers I have been asked. I've not forgotten. I just need to get a little bit better with the boards, and I'll play with the cameras. Okay. The next group or maker that I've really enjoyed working with is Libra Computer. One, because I've gotten feedback with them, and I've been able to talk with them, and I pretty much have a ton of their boards. I mean, I have a sheet where I keep track of all the boards that I have, MAC addresses, because if they're on the network, it's easy. I've actually been using them for Docker. The Renegade is an awesome board. Talking with the people. This kind of show you, I'm waiting. I'm almost done with the video, but check that out. Let's get this stopper off right here. this, whoop, hold on. You guys can't see it. Let me clear this off. Okay. This is one of the new computers. This is not the Cottonwood. This is the sweet potato. I'm going to try to get a Cottonwood, but this is the Love Potatoes replacement. And I'm almost done with the video for this. I'm just waiting for the power over Ethernet so that I can show it from top to bottom. This has been a nice little board. And talking with them about their products and stuff, okay? It's been really nice. And it's been pretty cool. The third company that I've worked with so far has been UYi2. And I actually feel bad myself for them. Their boards are awesome. I need to finish the video where I'm doing comparison for their X1. I'm going to be doing more with that. Believe it or not, the X1 is very cool. I'd like to get into a case. I saw that there was a case that they were talking about publishing, because I am still using that as my Proxmox server. And occasionally I do run OpenSUSE on it. Okay, so that's been a really cool board. I mean, like I said, these guys who've been reaching out to me and asking me, I'm actually going to buy a LCD. It was the first non-board computer that I got asked to take a look at their stuff. Actually, I reached out to the young lady because I saw she did LCDs, and I've been looking for an LCD for my banana pies, because what I'd like, and I probably need to program it. I know it should work. If it can work on a Pine board, it should work on a banana pie. I just need to get off my butt, learn Python, get the GPIOs working. But I like a little screen on these little routers that if there was a warning, maybe send D message to the LCD, have the IP. I don't think there's any sensors on the board, but it would be nice if there were, so that I could have is it overheating and things like that. So I've been looking for LCDs, so I'm going to buy one from her and do a review. But no, UYi2, you guys, your boards are pretty cool. I've seen the content from other people. I will still help you guys. It's just, yeah, some of the other stuff that's been coming out has been pretty impressive. So it's pretty cool. Okay. And then next year, my Learning Linux, I am finally going to get off my butt and do that. I think I got my network set up now that I could sit there and do the teaching and finished, doing that route. And then just trying to see what other stuff's out there. There is amazing how many alternative computer boards are out there. But, Orange Pi. I bought all my Orange Pi boards, but I actually got libvirt working on it. And I'm pretty proud of that, because now I can carry that board with me and have a portable lab, which is, I could do it with a laptop. I know a lot of people are doing Linux. We're like, well, why do all that? I want something small. And plus, because I'm now able to run Red Hat on ARM, OpenSUSE, ARM, Debian, ARM, okay, and it's running in a virtual area, I can learn how to play with it and do a little bit more developing. That's the nice thing about virtualization. I know a lot of people went from virtualization straight to Docker, but the only thing I don't like about Docker, and I learn it. That's where most of my Libra computer stuff is being used right now. Is it? We're taking a step back. We went from copyleft open source to here's a container, the code's in it. Take my image and run it. You don't know if there's malware in there, or it's such a blind trust. And maybe I'm kind of weird on that, but that's the wave of the future. People want to run containers, and I think that's why companies like Red Hat and I've seen other companies, they're pulling back their code because people are taking it, putting it in a container, publishing it, and they're making money. And it kind of defeats the purpose of open source. And that's something that I'm hoping doesn't happen. But anyway, Orange Pi, great board. I've been having real good luck with it. I actually do like their Android. I actually did get Google Play on it. It's one of those that I've really been enjoying playing around with. I have a couple numbers of them. The one board that it's frustrating me right now, and it shouldn't. There's a ton of OSs for these boards. The Radix, RADXAs, those are irritating me a bit because you install something on it, you use it, and I don't know. I used one for about a month and a half with Android TV on it. I tried to run, believe it or not, Arch Linux on one because I wanted to learn Arch, Manjaro on it. They've been sitting back over here collecting dust. I pick up my Banana Pis or my Libra computers or my Orange Pis before those. And like I said, my X1, it's running all the time. So it's frustrating. And I know a lot of people, they love those boards. So, anyway. So, ought to be interesting. I'm trying to get my hands on a Raspberry Pi 5 because I want to see what the hype was. I know when they released the news, I was fighting with my network, and it was just amazing. Raspberry Pi is really pumping it out, trying to get people to come back, and we'll see. I know there's so much loyalty. I think it'll be easy for them to come back. Okay. But companies like Orange Pi, Banana Pi, Radix, they've released a lot of new boards. They're actually building communities of OSs like Arbian, who support a lot of these boards. A couple boards that a couple years ago I heard good things about, but I haven't heard a lot, was NanoPi was one, and Pine. I actually wanted to get a Pine phone. You don't hear much about them, okay? I know company called Big Tech, they're released a lot of stuff because there weren't Pis, so they're trying to help the printing community. They've released their own boards. But this is actually a cool time. It reminds me when I was a kid and Commodores and stuff like that. So, real quick, my top 5 alternate boards, and no, this is not AI produced, this is me talking. So, number 5, I will give the Radix their place just because they have boards that are really pretty decent. A lot of people use them and they run stuff on them. Okay, number 4. 5 was Radix. Number 4, Banana Pods that they've released. And the one thing that they need to improve on is long-term support for the boards. They release something out, they're on to the new board, and the older boards I don't feel are getting the love. They do a lot of great router boards, so hopefully they'll learn from that. Number 3, okay, is going to be the Orange Pi. They are really good. Their manuals are freaking long, and there's a lot of stuff out there. So they're pretty good. Number 2, okay, is going to be the UE2 and their X1 board. Okay, their Rockchip board that I have back over here. Guys, you want to make that board awesome? Get Debian 11 or Debian 12 working on it with the newer folks, because you have enough IOs on there. It'll be pretty awesome. But right now, their X1 board is awesome. $99, 8 gigs, 128 gigs of storage with M.2 support. It's an awesome, I mean, it's cheaper than a Lapanda. It's cheaper than a Hacker board. Good Lord, Hacker board's almost $300. For that price, buy a Beelink. Seriously, $150, $90. Beelink's the way to go. And number 1, and the reason they're number 1 is just because I know I can grab them and use them, is the Libre computer. And there are some projects I am trying to work on. I really want to get, I'm trying to build a internet radio. So I'm looking at them, see if we can power it. I may end up, using a CM4 just because there's more IO. But those are my top 5. So Radix, okay, Banana Pi, Orange Pi, UE2, and the Libre computer. And Banana Pi, don't hold it against me. I do have more your boards coming. I love your boards, but like I said, long-term support. I'm going to repeat it again. Long-term support. All right. Well, that's going to be it for this year in review. For those who stopped by, I appreciate it. We'll try to do more live chats when I'm going to be doing more stuff. One of my coworkers said I should do an ARMS computer build. I don't think people would like that, but I kind of laughed at that. But so things are coming up. I will be doing shorts, at least once of those weeks, and I'm going to try, for now, at least 2 good videos a month, because I really want to step back, improve my my quality, and get it out there for you guys. All right, with that, until next time, this is TerraPup. Happy holidays and peace.